Hi, everyone. As you're joining, we'll get started in just a minute. We're going to give some time for everyone to hop on. All right, looks like the numbers have leveled out. So I think hopefully everyone has joined.
Yep, just a few more and we're up to everybody that was registered.
Great.
So I can go ahead and start my introduction.
Okay.
I'm Jeannie Best of the Penn West Clarion Small Business Development Center. It's great to have everyone with us today. Following today's webinar, we will have an email going out that will ask you to complete the survey, and the email will have a PDF of the slides attached. Before we get started, let me review a few reminders for our webinar. If you're experiencing audio problems, please click the arrow next to the microphone icon and make sure that you have chosen the correct speaker. As a reminder, all participants have been muted and video disabled. If you have questions for our presenter, please enter the questions in the Q&A by simply clicking on the Q&A icon at the bottom of the screen. We're going to do our best to answer your questions today, but if we are not able to, we will follow up with additional information. If you have a private question to ask me or the speaker, Cassie Fly, please enter that in the chat window and make sure that you click on who you want to share that question with. Please note that this webinar is being recorded. And now I would like to introduce you to the Small Business Development Center. We are a grant-funded program with a mission to help businesses start, grow, and succeed. We provide education, information, and tools to help businesses make better decisions. We do this through our business consulting services and training. Our consulting services are provided at no cost and are confidential. We offer training, seminars, and a variety of topics to target the needs of small businesses. With that said, a small business to us is generally defined as a business with less than 500 employees. We also use our funding to provide access to database information and resources related to conducting industry and market research and financial analysis and implementing marketing strategies. The SBDC partners with many economic development organizations to help connect business owners to many more resources and help them start and grow businesses. In Pennsylvania, the SBDC network includes 15 centers, all located at institutions of higher education. We are a part of the Americas SBDC, a national network that enables individuals and businesses all over the country to access our program services in their neighborhood. I joined the Clarion SBDC team in 2018 and became the WEDNET PA partner for the university in 2020. Last year, the SBDC and Clarion began to manage this grant program, and I've remained as the partner. The WEDNET program is specifically for manufacturers, and it provides training dollars to employees for small businesses. The application process is quick and easy, and if you'd like more information, go to wednetpa.com. I'd like to introduce our speaker. Cassie Fly is a marketing specialist with Temple University and the University of Pittsburgh Small Business Development Center. She assists clients with SEO, social media marketing, and digital services. She earned a BA in business administration from Texas. I may mess this up.
No worries, I can go over it in a little bit, not super important.
And she's also has an MBA from Duquesne University. Cassie also works in property management, where she trains sales and marketing teams on how to advertise and match people with their perfect home. And I'm going to turn it over to Cassie.
Thanks, Janine. And I will skip through this since we already talked about the SBDC. But yes, I worked in property management. Now I specialize in consulting specifically in digital marketing with SEO, social media. And so that's kind of my background. So Instagram and Facebook basics. What are we going to talk about today? First, as we start, I'd love to just, put in the chat, not the Q&A, but just the chat, what business or what industry you're in. It helps for people also in here to kind of see who else is in this program. Who else could I maybe connect with later down the road? Maybe there's an industry you'd want to talk with, so you can even network that way. So as people are putting that in the chat, our agenda for the day is first, we'll give an intro to social media and how to choose platforms, because there's a lot out there and it's hard to choose, which platforms you want to be on. Then we'll go over getting set up on Facebook and Instagram. How do you set up a profile on those platforms? Then we'll go over how to post and some key things to keep in mind on what to post and how to post. Next, we'll go over what you should post and maybe what not to post. So we'll go over some content tips and some etiquette when posting. And then lastly, we'll end briefly with some information on ads and Instagram Shop. Again, this is a basics webinar, so we won't go too deep into that, but I did want to provide some resources for that. Great, thanks for putting stuff in the chat, everyone, to kind of give an idea of what industry we're all in. So first, let's talk about social media in general. What is it? It's an internet or computer-based technology that facilitates the sharing of ideas and information. Probably heard of the various platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and others. And what these do is allow you to virtually network with other individuals and other businesses. And what's great specifically about social media for businesses is it allows you to share content and information about your business with a large number of people for free. Small businesses don't have a huge marketing budget. Probably most of y'all don't have a giant marketing budget, right? Well, social media is a free way to do so and to market yourself. And there's a large crowd on it that you can market to, over 3 billion social media users today. And this gives you the ability to network and form communities based on interest in your business, your products, or your services. All of these platforms can be run through a computer, your phone, or a tablet. And now Facebook and Instagram, the social media platforms that we'll be talking about today, are just two of these. We have other webinars at the Temple SBDC, and there's also maybe some other social media webinars coming up through other SBDCs like this one here today. So keep an eye out on our events page as always for what might be coming up in terms of webinars related to this. Again, wanted to remind you that you will get these slides at the end of the presentation. So why should you use social media? I know that venturing into the world of websites, social media, and doing business online can be pretty intimidating. But if you want your business to succeed, you need to have some sort of an online presence. Now, because social media, social networking is a standard of how people communicate with each other, it's kind of important that you're on social media. If you think about it, when you think of any business that you regularly use, PetSmart, Nike, the local restaurant or brewery, or the salon where you get your haircut, they all have social media profiles, don't they? In any large business, you'd kind of expect them to have social media profiles. And so having a website and having a social media presence makes you appear more professional and more established as a business. Also, again, it's a free and easy way to market. It's a free and easy way to connect with existing customers and attract new ones, and to gather and share ideas. Now we'll start with Facebook, which is a highly popular social media network with a varied audience, with over 2.7 billion monthly active users. As such, every business should have a Facebook page, probably. When used correctly, a Facebook page can be invaluable to small businesses. You can use Facebook to share everything from photos and important company updates. With a business account, you have access to also powerful advertising tools and in-depth analytics. Business pages also have a lot of customization options. You can use Facebook to highlight information such as your contact information, hours of operation, and the products and services you offer. Now, Instagram, on the other hand, is also incredibly powerful with about 1 billion active users. And from Instagram Live to Instagram Stories, there's no shortage of business tools that you can use to promote services and products on the site. Instagram is also a very visual platform based entirely on photo and video posts. So it's best for businesses that have strong visual content to share. Whereas Facebook and maybe other platforms use more words, Instagram is primarily based around the photos and the videos. It's important to note that this platform is almost entirely used on mobile devices. You can't take photos from your computer, you can take them from your phone. And so that's something to keep in mind. Now, Instagram may not be the best fit for your business, depending on your industry. For example, if you sell something like research data, well, that's not super visual. So maybe Instagram's not for you because it's not very visual and hard to come up with pictures to post for that kind of industry. But say, on the other hand, if you're selling custom tennis shoes, then Instagram would be a great platform for you because your products are very visual and work very well with photos and videos. Service businesses can also use Instagram. For example, if you own a hair salon, posting photos of your haircuts and styles are a great way to utilize this photo and video-based platform. Now, do make sure that the person running your account must have at least a decent eye for detail and basic photography skills to ensure that your photos and videos are high quality. Now, before you decide to create one of these accounts on Facebook or Instagram for your business, it's a good idea to make sure that your customers or your target market are also on those platforms. So as with any of the social media platforms, it's good to consider the key demographics of your customers, and think of, is my target market using this platform, to see if that's going to be a good match for your business. Instagram, as you can see here, is slightly leaning towards female and a fairly wide array of ages. The primary age range for this platform is from 13 to 50 years old. So if you're trying to target anyone in that age range, there's a good likelihood they have an Instagram. If you're looking at maybe ages 55 and up, then you're maybe not going to have as much traction on this platform if that's what your target market is. Another thing recorded here is location. There tends to be more people using Instagram in urban and suburban areas than in rural areas. So if, say, you're in a more rural area of Pennsylvania, you may want to consider if your customers are using Instagram or not before getting a profile for it. Looking at income and education, this is a pretty even split, no matter what income level or education level your target market is. And there's an equally likelihood that they're using Instagram. Now moving on to Facebook. Except for those age 65 and older, the majority of Americans in different age groups use Facebook. Among teens, or usage among teens has dropped in favor of YouTube, Instagram, and other platforms, but they're still on there. Just their engagement is a little bit less in the younger demographic on Facebook, but they're still on there. Facebook leans slightly towards women users than men users, but it's pretty evenly split. And it's also pretty evenly split across location, income level, and education level as well. So consider, who's my target demographic for my business? Who are typically my customers? And then think, would they typically be on Instagram or Facebook looking at these demographics? Looking at demographics, like we went over, is one way to see if your target market is on the social media platform. Another thing you can do is look at your industry and look at maybe others in your industry and see if they've found success on Facebook and Instagram. This can help you decide if one of those platforms could be useful for your business. This chart shows what percentage of industries have adopted Instagram. So looking at the automobile, food and beverage, apparel and retail industries, there's nearly 100% adoption. So maybe if you're in one of those industries, it'd be good to get an Instagram. Now, on the other side, if maybe you're in oil and gas or financial institutions or banking or insurance, Instagram's not as adopted in those areas. So maybe Instagram wouldn't be your top platform, but maybe LinkedIn would. So this can help you with deciding, and looking at others in your industry can help you with deciding if Instagram is right for you. Facebook is also pretty similar across these industries as well, given the same examples. And this can help again with seeing if maybe Facebook or Instagram would be good for your business. All right, so we're going to move on to getting started. I can see some people put in the Q&A the question I asked earlier, so I'm just going to cut those out. Again, as we go, feel free to put in the Q&A if you have any questions. All right, so getting started on Facebook and Instagram. First step, if you have a personal account, play around on it, get some practice working on Facebook and Instagram. You actually have to have, a personal Facebook before you get a business one anyway. So good to practice. Second would be to create an account with facebook.com/business and follow the steps. Or I'll show you how to do this in just a moment. Next, add a cover photo, add a profile picture, start filling in your information, which I'll walk through. Facebook and Instagram both do a pretty good job of walking you through this. And then lastly, start to engage. Invite people to follow you, invite people to like you. And then lastly, start sharing. So, demo time, we'll go switch over to Facebook. So when you go to Facebook, this is my personal profile. I'm going to create, actually, I'm going to switch over. So Now I'm on my personal profile. So if I wanted to create a business page from here, in the top right hand corner where it says menu and it's got those 9 little squares, you click on that, you scroll down and you click page. From there, you would just start filling this in. So if you have page name, put your business name here. If you have a category, which would be your industry, type that in here. So maybe I'm a restaurant. See how it starts to pull those up for you. You can actually add a couple here if you want. Then write a bio. You know, maybe if you're an Italian restaurant, give a little bio that you're an Italian restaurant that sells this and that, and give a general description. This is probably something that's already on your about page if you have a website. And from here, it will prompt you as you go to fill things in. It's pretty, Facebook has made this really easy and will prompt you what you need to do. Couple things here. When you add a Facebook profile picture, use one that's maybe your logo, if you have a logo. If you have pictures of maybe your products, put that as the cover photo. Here's an example of a business page. So we'll go to the Temple SBDC's business page. And you notice how they have their logo right here. And for us, we put a map to showcase the areas we service. And right now it's on Shop Small Saturday for our Shop Local event coming up. But typically what you do for a business page is you put your logo for the profile picture, and then up here you post a photo of like your pictures. Ulta Beauty, another example, they have their logo. Then they showcase different women using their products. So those are examples of how you would do that, and it will walk you through how to set it up with prompts. Now we'll switch back over to the PowerPoint. All righty. So next, how to sign up for Instagram. Now, Instagram, as you remember, is a mobile device. So I can't have my mobile device on here, but I'll show you how to do it this way. So how do you sign up? There's 2 ways. One, if you're on a laptop or a desktop, you can go to the Instagram website. Or 2, if you're setting it up on a phone, which most of you will probably do, you want to download the Instagram app first and then start signing up. Next, you would sign in using your Facebook if you have one, or you can sign up for Instagram if you don't have a Facebook. The steps below are on the PowerPoint slides that you will receive as well, so you can follow them along to get started on your own time so you don't have to rush through it now. Now, something to note is that Facebook owns Instagram because Facebook has rebranded as Meta, and so it owns Instagram. So if you have Facebook, then it's beneficial for you to log in to your new Instagram account with your Facebook account, because then you can get some extra capabilities by doing this. Later down the road, you can post to both Instagram and Facebook at the same time if you do it this way. Now, you can always come back to make changes. Whenever you fill this information out, maybe you make your username the name of your business, and then you wanted to add a number to it or something. You can come back and change the username if you like. Now, you don't want to change this a bunch because you don't want it to change all the time when people are searching for you. But if you need to come back, you can come back and change that. Another common question I'd like to address is, can you have multiple accounts? And yes, you can. Same with Facebook. You can have multiple business accounts. Now with Instagram, it is slightly different. You do have to have a separate email for each one if you have multiple accounts. So we just went over how to do it there. I don't have my phone to have it displayed here, so we won't do that here because it will look significantly different from the phone version. Let me just check the Q&A. Is it possible to delete a page that you've created? Yes. And there is actually a great video on YouTube on how to do that. I won't delete it here because I don't want to delete the one I'm going to show you examples on. But there is a YouTube video on that, on how to delete a Facebook page and an Instagram page if you accidentally, made one and you want to delete it. All right, Facebook and Instagram help resources. If you do want some extra resources, like maybe you don't know the lingo for Facebook or don't know the lingo for Instagram, and you just want to get a basic knowledge of that, these are two great resources. Also, some scheduling tools. If you want to schedule, through Facebook, you can do that directly. If you want to schedule ahead of time, like posts. So for the whole month, you want to schedule your posts because you just want to do it all in one sitting. You can do that through Facebook directly. You can also do that through Hootsuite and other social media management platforms like Buffer. I'll also go through how you would do this and show an example of how to do this live. So how to post, that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to stop sharing, go to Facebook and show you how you would go about posting. All right, so I'm going to hop on over to my sample business account. Called CJ's Pet Palace. So this is the back end of your business page. And say you are wanting to make changes. All these buttons in the bottom right corner of things allow you to edit. So I can edit my cover photo here, can edit my profile here, can edit my profile picture here. Those where you can make changes. Now, I want to post. I can go over here to the Meta Business Suite, and that opens up where I can have all my posting capabilities. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to click Create a Post, which is just below the picture. When I click that, it opens up where I can enter some text. Another good idea, maybe I'm going to say, we are open for business. Thanks everyone who came out on our first day of business. And then you want to post a picture of opening day. And then you can add a photo of that by clicking Add Photo. And then you can take from what's saved on your computer a photo. So you can take a photo from your computer, add it to it, and then when you're done, you can click Publish. Or, as you can see here, there's a few different options. You can publish it now, which is what is selected currently. You can schedule. Maybe you want to schedule it for next week at 2 p.m. Maybe you want to schedule it for a month from now. Maybe you want to schedule it for, just later today. You can do that, and it'll ask you for the different time and day that you'd want to schedule it for. So that's how you would create a post. Now, something else I want to note here is you can actually, if you have connected your Facebook to Instagram, you can post this post to both accounts. So right now I haven't connected my Instagram account, but you can see where it has a drop down where you can select both of these. If you haven't connected your Instagram, you see where it says connect Instagram right here in blue? That's where you can get that set up. So that's how you post on Facebook. Now let's go to Instagram. Again, this is going to look a little different, right? Because it's on a desktop and normally it's on a mobile device. But what you do is you'd click create. You would select photos from your computer or your phone. And then from there, you click next and just follow the prompts. So I'm going to click next. I'm going to choose a filter. Then you can write a caption and be like, here is our first customer of the day. You can add a location. Maybe I'm going to tag my business location, which is the pet store. And then you can go into advanced settings, add emojis, do all these other cool things. But that's how you would go about creating a post on Instagram. So now we'll hop back onto the PowerPoint. And then I'll take a pause here before we get into what to share. All right, let's see, Q&A. How do you put your logo on the Facebook business page? Yes, and then how do I get to the back end? I'll go ahead and answer that here. So if you want to put your logo on the Facebook business page, you would save that logo to your computer. Then when you log into the profile, like I just showed, the profile picture will have a little edit button just to the bottom right of it. And you click that and it'll allow you to upload that logo. The question on how do you get into the back end would be, you would just simply log in. And then if you saw when I was doing the demo, you would click Meta Business Suite, which would be on the left-hand side. So you go to your profile, your business one, and then you would click Meta Business Suite. That's where you can post. All right, we'll keep moving. So what should you share? You know, a lot of questions I get are revolving around, I don't know what to share. Well, we'll talk about what to share and first, what not to share. So before we talk about ideas for posting, let's talk about what not to share. Generally, you want to keep your business page focused on your business and not your personal views. However, you should normally avoid, you know, religion, politics, different views. But if you feel it's very important for your business to speak on certain issues because maybe your business or your industry is so tightly related to those views or those, you know, political views, then maybe it's okay to post on those things, but you do have to try to be careful when you do that. And you do want to be positive in your posting, even if you are presenting a view that you have. So try to stray away from posting on things that are your personal views or politics or religion. But if your industry is so closely related to some of those topics, then just be careful on how you post, because you don't want to accidentally come up as confrontational or alienate any of your customers. Now let's talk about what to post. You don't necessarily want to just be a promoter of your business and products and just post ads all the time. You want to be an expert in your industry and the place where people go to get information, not just to buy your products. So some good things that you could post could be articles and advice, tips and industry trends. If you're a bakery, then maybe some how-to videos or an infographic on how to make, you know, icing flowers on a cake. If you're a real estate broker, post trends in the housing industry in your area. You want to post pictures and videos of happy customers, behind the screen shots of maybe someone with their new home. For example, if you're a bakery, share a video of the cake decorator making the cake, or the happy bride and groom when they're surprised by the cake's detail. If you have photos that your customers take and they give you permission to share, you can use those. Other great things to post are specials, new items, coupons. And don't forget to also be creative and look into other accounts for ideas. There's nothing wrong with taking a look at other businesses in your industry and their Facebook pages or their Instagram pages for ideas on what to post. But the thing that you want to do is make sure that you're not just posting ads, because people don't come to social media just to read ads, right? They come for quality, engaging content. One question we have in the Q&A is, should you post to the public or friends only? So if you have a business page, they would be your followers, not your friends, and it would post to everyone, but then those who are following you, it would come up in their feed more easily. And then, do you get a copy of today's meeting in this demo? I believe so, yes. All right, and remember, keep in mind, if you have questions, please make sure you're putting them in the Q&A, not the chat. All right, here is another tool that can help with finding content on your industry. It's called Google Alerts. You can search Google Alerts and sign up for it simply by logging into your Google account. You don't have to have, or you do have to have a Google account in order to use and set up Google Alerts. And what you can do for it is you can create an alert for news articles that mention different keywords related to your industry. So for example, if you're a real estate broker in Philly, you might want to set up an alert that pulls news articles that include words like real estate trends, or Philadelphia housing market, or interest rates. So this is a great tool that you can sign up for and kind of check and see what types of content is floating around and have it sent directly to you. Another free tool is feedly.com. This is a website that can help you aggregate any website that you like to follow. This right here is a screenshot of the Small Business Development Centers, and we have a lot of publications that we follow. What Feedly helps us do is it allows us to take a website URL and add it on Feedly to accumulate the stories or articles on these websites that we follow. So this is another great tool for getting and organizing content. Now we'll talk a little bit about etiquette and tips. So like I mentioned earlier, first thing is you don't want to be overly promotional. No one really comes to social media just to look at ads, right? They want to see informative, interesting, or heartwarming content and posts. You want to make about 20% of your 30% of your content actual sales pitches, but then the rest should be content that will help to engage your followers. So for example, if you're a florist, don't make every post a sales pitch for your flowers. Show a video of how to make a bouquet. Post a photo with someone's wedding flowers that you did, or maybe post an event that you're doing on teaching how to make a bouquet or how to do plant care. You also want to be active. You want to be commenting and liking when someone says something nice about your products. Like if someone writes a review for you, reply to it and say, thank you so much for your review. I hope you're enjoying this product that you got. It continues the conversation. Maybe they'll reply. Also, it shows you're active on that platform and responding to customers. Another reminder is to be positive in everything you post. Never be negative. Now I want to take a moment to ask what you do when someone makes a negative comment, or maybe someone writes a negative review. What do you think you should do? go ahead and write it in the chat, what you should do when someone in the chat, not the Q&A, what you should do when someone writes a negative post or writes a negative review for your business. What's like a best practice, or maybe what have you done in the past when someone writes a negative review? Reframe it in a positive light. Yes, that's perfect. Any others? There's one other key thing you want to do. Try to find out more and make it right. Yeah. Apologize. Yes. Exactly. These are all great. The one thing that you should also try to do is take it offline. You apologize, say, would you like to contact us? We'd like to try to make this situation right, and give them your phone number or email for the business. That takes it offline so it can't continue on, right? Maybe someone actually confused you with another business and they wrote a review that was actually about your neighbor restaurant next door. You could comment on it and say, hi, I think there's an issue. We actually don't have a server here named Rebecca. And then you can report that to Facebook and they can maybe take it down if it's a completely wrong business. But if it's a negative review, the best thing you can do is apologize, take it offline by saying, we'd love to make this right. We're sorry about your, experience. Please give us a call or email so we can make it right, and take it off. Thanks for the engagement. All right. Some other tips and tools for scheduling. Facebook is where you can do it directly through Meta, like I showed you in the example. Some third-party tools allow you to schedule as well. So for example, if you have a Facebook, an Instagram, a LinkedIn, a Twitter, and you have all these different accounts and you want to post to all of them from the same platform, you can get a tool like Hootsuite or Buffer or Sprout Social. Those third-party tools are things you can sign up for that allow you to post just from one platform and can be very helpful. I do think they all have a free trial period too, if you'd like to test them out first. Another good tool is getting graphics. Maybe for your post, you're looking for some good free graphics, or you want to get a good free graphic for your cover photo. Canva is a great place for this. Canva actually allows you to make a logo if you don't already have one. VSCO is another good one. Pictochart is another good one. You can get and download free images that you can use for your posts. Something else you can do is get a social media audit done. At Temple Small Business Development Center, we do social media audits. And if you'd like to do that, there's a link here for that. Will be sent to you again in a PowerPoint after this call. So we can always audit your current social media accounts if you have them already set up. And then lastly, I want to go over ads in Instagram Shop. So one thing I want to first go over is your insights. Before you start advertising, you want to start understanding the insights that are associated with your Facebook and Instagram accounts. You want to see, when are most of your users the most active? What time of day are they? And that's probably the time you'd want to post an ad if you got into ads. So make sure you're familiar with insights before you get into advertising. This is something you can do for free. Now, some things you can do not for free are the ads themselves. Ads and boosts are two different ones you can use. You can use ads to promote your page. Boosts you can use to promote specific things you've posted, boost those. You can also use targeting through ads, and those are all not free, but something that you can use through ads. Now, I won't get into a whole lot of detail here since this is Facebook and Instagram basics, but those are tools available with Facebook and Instagram. But you want to get familiar with both of those platforms first before going into advertising. Another thing that's a little more advanced is the Instagram shop. An Instagram shop can be added to your business account, and it allows you to sell products straight through your Instagram. In order to do this, you do have to have a verified website that takes payments already in order to be eligible to have an Instagram shop. You will also need to have an actual business account, not just a personal account. And you will need a Facebook business page as well. The reason for this is that in order to make all of the product squares or pictures that people scroll through on Instagram shop, you have to create a product catalog on Facebook business. Once you've done this, though, you can easily add product tags to the pictures that you post. So for example, you can see in this post, this business posted a picture of a little girl with a little mouse plushie that the business sells. What they've done is add a tag to that little mouse plushie so that people can click on it and it brings them to the Instagram shop where you can buy it. Now down here at the bottom, I've also included a link to more information on this if you're interested in diving deeper past just the basics in this webinar. Again, you will get a copy of this PowerPoint, so you can use this link later. And this is my contact information. Again, at the beginning of this slide, Dean posted our contact information for her and for their SBDC. Let me go ahead and back up though and look and see what questions we have in the Q&A. So one question was, how can we target a specific demographic, like people 65 and older? So if you're trying to target that, and I'm assuming you're asking about Instagram ads or Facebook ads, there is an area where you can select the age range. How do you discover or find these third-party sites? Yeah, so one is, and there, two of them are listed there, Hootsuite and Buffer. You can go to hootsuite.com and buffer.com. Those are two. There's a lot out there, but you can just go to those websites and sign up for them. They should have probably free trial periods if you'd like to test them out. Any security recommendations for Facebook is a question. One would be to, and the Facebook comes with this when you start a business page, not allowing others to post on your page. They can leave reviews, they can like, they can comment, they can leave reviews, but they can't leave actual posts on your page. And it comes that way, so you don't have to change anything. That would be my one main one. My business lawyer said that to not use Canva to do a logo because the copyright on their text and images is not always clear and straightforward. Is that not correct information? It also kind of relates to the question above that, that is it necessary to get your logo copyright? So you can create a logo on Canva. The problem is maybe someone else creates a logo and they get a copyright on it. Well, then you can't maybe use that in the future. So you can create one on Canva. You can also get a copyright on it, and that's, you know, in your best interest later down the road. There are some images on Canva that are free to use, and you can make them. There are some images on Canva that have a little watermark on them, and so it doesn't look good. And so you might not want to use that for your logo. See here. How many times should you post? Do you recommend weekly or daily? That's a good question. I didn't go over that earlier. So typically with Facebook and Instagram, the range of how often to post is anywhere from 1 to 3 times per week. Maybe that sounds like a lot to you and you want to work up to that. That's fine. Maybe your business hasn't officially launched yet and your Facebook page is pretty minimal. That's okay. Maybe you work up to that later. But typically 1 to 3 times per week is average. What kinds of posts for accounting services? So I won't go over specific examples for each industry, but I would recommend looking up some accountants and their Facebook pages if they're doing well and or what they're posting. Maybe infographics or tips for, tax season, or a testimonial for a happy customer. All right. How long should a short video be for a business page? Yeah, so that's a good question. Videos, if you think of the general American today, they're short, their attention span is short. And if they're in a younger generation, it's even shorter. Typically less than 60 seconds is important, but I would argue less than 20 seconds would be better. There's probably stats online on that give a better answer, but I would say keeping it short is good to get someone to actually watch through the whole video. I understand the examples you gave, but how did you hear about or discover them originally? I think I'm not remembering which question this is related to. Question, can you point me in the right direction to acquire copyright for a logo? I would reach out to your local business or your local SBDC, and they'll help you with that. So I would reach out to whichever SBDC you're a part of, and they'll help you with that. All right. I think that's all in the Q&A. Yep, that's everything in the Q&A. We have just a few minutes left. I don't know, Nina, if you have anything else that you want to say, I'll put our info back up in case they want to see that.
I don't really have any more content. There's another question for you, that just a couple more questions.
Great. What are your thoughts on using TikTok? TikTok is becoming very, very popular, very, very quickly. I would say it's extremely popular too if you're the millennial age or lower are going to be, or younger, is going to be your most popular demographic. Even more so is like Gen X, Gen Z is primarily the most active on there, but it is growing fast and I think it will encompass other generations quickly as well. And then question, if you're just starting out, when is the best time to create a business page? As soon as you have the idea or after creating the LLC? I think it depends more on when you're starting. I would say probably after you create the LLC, but you can, create one early to like build hype for it. For example, maybe I've seen people do this with like, if they're advertising books, they kind of create hype for the book beforehand. And then on launch date, they post the day they launch, but they have the page beforehand. So it depends. Oh, and then also, I don't know, I think, Janine, if you put a survey, I would love to get those surveys filled out if you have time, because that really helps us know on how to improve.
Yeah, I'll be sending out a survey. And I typically wait for the recording so that I can send that out at the same time. And that we will also include Cassie's slides with that email. We appreciate your survey because we need to record those records so that we can keep providing these great programs for you.
Yeah.
So I
Awesome.
want to thank everybody for attending this event in part, and for Cassie and Temple for partnering with us. We really appreciate you doing this for our center. We've been asked a lot about having more social media trainings, and Cassie was able to provide this for us, and we are very grateful. So if there are no other questions.
Yeah, I see just looks
Yep.
like one more, a lot of thank yous. Let's see. I don't have a Facebook personal page and don't really want one. Is there anything else you can do? You do have to create a Facebook personal page in order to sign up. You can leave it as blank as you want. You don't even have to have a profile picture though. And no one's going to connect it to you personally, your business page. So yes, you do have to.
Okay,
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
thank you very
Appreciate it.
much. I'll close this out.
All right. Bye.
Thanks, Cassie.
Thank you.